The final round of Goodreads Choice nominees have just come out, so here are my predictions. For the fiction nominees, the only book I've read is Wild Dark Shore, and I loved that book, so I would love to see it win, but there's also Ellen Hilderbrand and Frederick Bachman on that list, so I'm assuming one of those is gonna win. Historical fiction, I've also only read one off this list, and that is Isola by Allegra Goodman. My prediction for this one is obviously Taylor Jenkins Reid's Atmosphere. Mystery and thriller, I feel like there are a lot of good options on here. Of course, people love Frida McFadden, people love Holly Jackson. If I had to guess, it would be The Tenant by Frida McFadden. Romance is also a tough one because these are some really big authors, but Deep End I feel like was very polarizing, and I feel like I didn't hear that great of things about Great Big Beautiful Life. The favorites I wouldn't even classify as romance. Wild Side, I really like that one. I don't think people love the Rose Hill series though. I'm gonna have to go with either One Golden Summer or Say You'll Remember Me. I only read one book from the Romantasy, and that was Wild Reverence. While everyone else loved that book, I despised it. Alchemized was really popular this year. Mate just had its moment, and Night in the Moth I've heard a lot of buzz about as well. So my guess would have to be for Alchemized. For fantasy, I've heard so many things about Catabasis and Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, but not all the things have been positive. The Strength of the Few just came out, so I don't think it's had enough time to simmer. And Brandon Sanderson, people love you, but Wind and Truth is like, what, the 5th in a series and probably 1,000 pages? So for me, it's hard. Is R.F. Kuang more popular or V. Schwab? I'm gonna have to go with Catabasis on this one. Then for science fiction, I actually haven't read any of these nominees. The only one I've really heard a lot of buzz about was The Compound, so I'm gonna go with that one. Horror, one of my favorite categories. I've read a couple of these. I feel like I could say with some level of confidence that The Buffalo Hunter Hunter is going to win this category. Debut novel, we have Alchemized again, but I've also heard a lot of buzz around The Names by Florence Knapp and The Bright Years by Sarah DeMoff, so I would have to go with one of those. Oh my god, for audiobook, The Let Them theory had such a moment for reasons unclear to me. The full cast audiobook of Harry Potter, I've heard a lot of buzz around. I've also seen ads for it on YouTube. Now I'm gonna go with The Let Them theory. I'm gonna go for a bold choice here. Young adult fantasy and sci-fi, I think if it's not Sunrise on the Reaping, I'm going to be absolutely shocked. I don't really read much young adult fiction, so I'm gonna have to go with the Lynn Painter one on this just because people love her, so that's Fake Skating. Nonfiction, I could say with some level of confidence is either gonna be The Let Them theory or John Green's book Everything is Tuberculosis. For memoirs, I'm gonna go with The House of My Mother by Shari Frank, just because I feel like people love and eat up that YouTube drama, me included. I read this book and I quite enjoyed it. And for history and biography, that's really anyone's guess. Off this list, the one that sounds most interesting to me is Sisters in Science or How to Kill a Witch, but I also have seen a lot about the Mark Twain books. Those are my predictions for the Goodreads Choice Awards. We'll regroup in a month or so and see if any of my predictions were correct.